Welcome, Kelcee, to the Milestone
you.
Moment. We're so grateful to have you. This is a show where we focus on local top producing agents and find out their story or what brought them into where we are today. So we'll get to that in a moment.
Sounds
speaking
great.
of which. But Kelcee, tell me a little bit about being on a team. I know that you've grown your real estate business extremely quickly, relatively speaking, from I met you the day you got into real estate, which is amazing. You have a great background. But tell me a little bit about kind of your start with being on a team and how you've kind of, where you are today.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's funny. You did the loan on the first transaction I ever sold. You sure did. So when I got into real estate, I knew that I needed leads. Like, you have to have a funnel of business. So obviously the easiest place to get that was from a team structure. I got onto a team, I started getting online leads. And, the best part about online leads is you just have a ton of volume coming in. You constantly have opportunities lining up for you to go sell a house, make money. That was the goal. The downside to online leads is that you might be pulled from Tacoma to Everett to Whidbey Island to every which way. There's no honing your area into like one specific neighborhood. So I got onto a team. I was really successful with the Zillow online lead platform and sold a ton of houses. It was awesome. And I felt like I was really experienced even after 1 year because I had sold a lot of volume compared to many agents that were new in the business in a pretty challenging year. And then it got to the point where I started a family. I was in transaction coordinating while I was home pregnant. I ran the operations of the team. And so I really dabbled in a lot of different areas and really honed in the systems and processes needed to scale your business. I think that was like the biggest benefit of being on a team. And then it got to the point where I was like, wow, I think I really want to just focus on my community, be in the area that I want to be in. And at the time, YouTube was taking off and Instagram and TikTok was new. And I was like, I've got to get on camera. I hate being on camera. So thank you for having me today. But I hate being on camera. So I was like, all right, it's time for a change. I've got to change it up. I'm going to switch brokerages. I'm going to go to a brokerage that really focuses on media. So I did that. And I hated it because I hate being on camera. Like, the brokerage was great, but it just didn't align with what I was looking for being independent. And so I had a long moment there, if you will, of forcing something that just didn't feel natural to me. And my moment there was changing another brokerage. And I went to another brokerage. Now I'm an independent. I run my own business. I mostly work from home. I don't have an office space because my goal is to be in the community that I'm in. And that's what I'm doing now. And so much of my business is mainly from like open houses and farming this community.
One thing that I find extremely impressive
3 moments.
with your moments, and by the way, and those moments are transitions, right? So you have always been extremely successful, whether it was in St. George, Utah, or whether you're on a new team. How do you always reinvent yourself, but while doing that, still juggling I think I know the answer. You connect with people in a way that I have never seen. Can you speak to that? I mean, is there a strategy or you just love people? Or what is it that I guess draws clients to you? Is there a secret sauce in regard to that?
I don't think there's a secret sauce. It's a lot of work. Even if it looks natural, it's a lot of work. Being in this industry is a lot of work. But I think that through every transition that I've been through, the process doesn't change. The level of service that I provide my clients doesn't change. I might rebrand. I might, change it from some team name to Homes by Kelcee, and that's how I'm branded now. But the process that I follow from day one to now has not changed that much. I mean, it's had to a little bit. You find your pitfalls and you improve upon yourself. But I think that leaning into the fact that I connect with people, only focusing on referrals and open houses and being around people that I know are going to buy and sell has really been fruitful for my business.
Well, and I think that it's great for new agents to understand too, like having the connection with clients early on, all the phone calls, scripting, learning how to talk to people is really important on the lead side. And then hopefully your business evolves to where you get to do the fun stuff, which is connecting with clients. They like you, they know you, they trust you, you got a network of people around you, and then it's obviously referral business. Like, is that an evolution that you planned, or it just kind of worked out that way, or how do you speak on that?
I mean, it planned, maybe. It worked out really well. So, I mean, you look back to the Zillow lead days. So many of my referrals now come from those Zillow leads because They had a great experience, and that was 8 years ago. Now they've had babies, they've outgrown their house, they're selling, they're buying a new house, they're getting into a different community. So just because they might not be in my neighborhood doesn't mean that they're not amazing clients that I don't keep in touch with. But they also refer me other people. I mean, we live in Tech Central, right? Like everyone wants to be within 30 minutes of downtown Seattle. So living in Snoqualmie, it's just a very natural evolution that everyone ends up moving east.
Now, I'll tell you, so, and this is maybe a knock on me or a, wow, you're amazing at what you do. But we've done a number of transactions where their friends reach out to you. They don't call me. They reach out to you, or they're having a baby. They need more space. They call you.
Yep.
Do you have a strategy for keeping in touch with your clients? Is it just normal? Tell me about your strategy there.
Yeah, there's definitely a strategy. So when somebody buys a house, I always want to make sure they have the perfect experience, because I want to be able to walk away and pick up the phone to them any random day and feel really good about the conversation I'm going to have with them. I mean, if you have a pretty tumultuous transaction, there's some hesitation in that phone call. You don't want to do that.
Right.
So I always want to make sure they have a great experience. Once they close, they get a closing gift. About a month after they close, there's a check-in to make sure that they're happy in their home. To check in if they need anything at all. Make sure they've got their first mortgage bill from you. Right. And that relationship continues. I friend them on Facebook and Instagram. Every time they post anything, I comment on there. And it's not just because I'm trying to keep in touch from a business perspective, but I really enjoy the people I work with.
Right.
So I think that that's been huge. I have a gifting program, so every year on their home anniversary, they get a CMA, they get a small token of my appreciation to make sure that, I'm staying top of mind as time goes on. And then when I hear somebody's getting married, they get a wedding gift, or they're having a baby, they get a baby gift.
Do you have a CRM that you use for all this, or is it all just okay?
No, I definitely do. I use Lofty.
Okay.
So through Real, they have a partnership with Lofty, and it's a great CRM.
Okay.
But it reminds me of everything, because there's no way I could keep track of the hundreds of transactions at this point.
Yeah, I was on a national podcast, and they said, what do you do to manage relationships? And, as far as our realtor relationships, I just enjoy the realtors. I just hang out. They're friends of mine at this point, so I don't manage any relationships. I just invite them to events and see them at the pub or at happy hour or anything like that. So I'm pretty lucky in regards to that. But that's great that you have a strategy, a system, obviously. And what I always tell people is, I won't work with an agent that I can't get along with, because I'm not going to take a phone call at 9 o'clock on a Saturday if I don't enjoy working with them.
You always pick up my call, though.
I do, because I enjoy working with you. So that's truth be told. And I assume, with your past clients, how do you grow and or foster that relationship longer term? I mean, just consistently being in front of them and enjoying them and inviting them out. And
truly, it's that simple. You just have to stay consistent with it. Like any workout program or anything in your life, you have to stay consistent with it.
I love that.
And now that I'm really focused on farming and being local in Snoqualmie, a part of this community, it's even easier, because I come here to the pub and I run into 10 people I know. Or I go down the street to a different restaurant and I run into 10 people I know. And so
there's kids' sports and activities.
Sports, activities, schools, drop off, you name it. I'm constantly running into past clients. And now so many of them have become close friends. So,
awesome.
It's been really fun to focus.
So 2025, is there anything this year that you're focused on as far as something growth-wise with your business, or something you're maybe taking away from your business? What do you see this year? How's it shaping up? What do you think it's going to be?
In 2025, one of the things that I've struggled with in the past is managing my books, the less fun part of the business, right? I'm really focusing on being intentional with where I spend money, how to make the business more profitable, how to be at a brokerage that positions myself to be in this industry for a really long time and not have to work myself to death, basically. And so that's really the goal for 2025. Stay in the community, stay super focused, make sure I'm in front of people, continue building those relationships, because I know with building the relationships, business will come. I also do open houses every single weekend in Snoqualmie Ridge, because my sign needs to be everywhere.
I love that. No, it's great, and I keep you in front of people. And actually, with my next question is, listing focus, of course, you can really control your business, be where you want to be. How do you manage that between that and buyers that want to go look in Seattle? Or, do you have a buyer's agent? Do you have people, you do it all yourself?
I do it all myself. I do it all myself. Being a micromanager is a little bit of a good thing in this industry, because when you scale too big, I believe, because I've done it. I've scaled really big. It dilutes the process a little bit.
Okay.
You can't have that same experience when you have that buyer's agent show 10 different houses, and then a different agent meets up with someone and they show 20 more houses, and the process takes a lot longer.
Yep.
But if I'm with a client and I'm very intentional with understanding what they're looking for,
right,
I can show them 3 houses and be like, I know your house.
Yep.
I know your house. And we're not going to waste time going and seeing 50 other ones because I already know what you're trying to buy. So
there's no
it's a lot more.
notes in the CRM.
No,
there's no passing.
There are notes.
Well, I'm saying, but it's not like a buyer's agent can go show and then.
You miss things. You miss things. And so by being super intentional, really good with my time management, I try to show as many houses as I can to these clients because it just makes the process so much more seamless from a buyer experience. From a listing perspective, if I have 2 listings go live on the same weekend, I have trusted agents that I've worked with in the past that I'll have them help me here and there. But like I can't be everywhere all the time. I can't do everything. But truly, like I try to do as much of it myself as I can because instead of a buyer shopping for 6 months and having to see every single house in Snoqualmie Ridge, they can shop for 3 because I know what they're looking for and I can call the streets that I know that they're going to absolutely fall in love with and find an off-market seller. So it's
that's awesome.
It's just a little bit more intentional.
Now you were in a leadership role on one of your teams and managing people, and then now have obviously gone to very small and just having your own team again. Like what was that been like? What was the experience you kind of got from managing agents, and then why did you kind of go back to just Kelcee, Homes by Kelcee, and that's where you're at?
You learn a lot when you manage other people. You learn where people's strengths are, you learn where pitfalls are in the business, and you really learn how to streamline it in a way that makes it the most efficient. Managing people is also a huge time suck for someone like me who enjoys being in front of a client. Like when I manage people, it's great. Teams scale, they grow, we sell a lot of houses, everyone can celebrate, but like truly I got in the business because I enjoy talking to people. I enjoy helping them accomplish their goals. And being in that managerial role and being a few steps removed from the client, I just personally didn't enjoy it as much. And so really getting back to the basics is what I think I needed to thrive in the business again.
Now, how do you manage all the time? Like obviously you've got 2 kids, your husband, so many things on your plate. How do you do it all?
No sleep?
There's only one thing I can cut out, and that's sleep. So agents out there, if you're new, just be ready to manage 3 hours of sleep.
Yeah, if you have kids, like you already know what the sleep deprivation feels like. No, I'm just kidding. No, you have to be really intentional with time blocking. So like 1 hour a day of just strictly in my CRM, updating everyone, making sure I'm connecting with past clients. A couple hours a day of truly just trying to find your next deals, your next business. And then a couple hours a day of managing your current transactions and your upcoming listings and making sure that you're prepared that way. I've had transaction coordinators in the past. Honestly, I'm at Real now, and the technology there is so easy. I really don't even feel like I need a transaction coordinator anymore.
Amazing.
Like that's such a small piece of the time that I commit to my business. And so, it's just really intentional with my time blocking. And then weekends are strictly for open houses and new business.
Okay. I love that. And then you even before the show, we were talking about the fact you work from home. You don't go into the office. I mean, there's some agents think, I need to be around other people. Tell us about like, what is it that drives you to say, and maybe it's just a big part of your day. Like what drives that?
Seattle traffic.
Sure. Right.
No, truly, like, if I spend 30 minutes driving each way to get to the office, to be around people that fill my cup, because that's really what going to the office is about, is like mastermind, learning from other people, which I still go to a lot of networking events. So like that kind of fills that gap for me. But if you're going to the office, you're going to the office to socialize. You're not necessarily going to the office to sell houses. Like you need to be in front of clients to sell houses. And so if I'm socializing, I would rather be socializing with clients than other agents. Like as respectfully as possible. It's a lot more profitable to be with potential buyers and sellers than it is other agents. And so truly the office piece for me just, it can't be a part of my business anymore.
And obviously you're in Snoqualmie Ridge. You are here, and you moved away. What brought you back to this beautiful community?
Snoqualmie just has a lot to love. It really does. It's rare to find a community where everything that you feel like you need is right here. like truly within a mile. I live less than a mile from Saints and Scholars. I can walk here. I'm here too often.
Appreciate that.
But yeah, this community, like just the people, the environment, there's enough people here that you don't feel like you're in a super small town. There's so many kids' activities. The schools are amazing. Like, there's nothing that I feel like I'm missing out on in Snoqualmie Ridge. And so I'll probably be part of the inventory problem and never sell my house.
Right. Well, that's the hard part. That's why it is a tough place to buy in, because there's so few homes. You've been fantastic. It's been so great to watch your business grow so quickly and help so many people. And we're grateful for all you do to support our business.
Absolutely.
And thank you for being on the show and helping so many new agents learn their way. So thanks, Fab.
Thank you so much.
All right. Thanks a lot.